Alright, let's do this. So we had another great night. Sadly, we did not do Lord of the Rings online, Stiggy Diggy. Very sad. Very sage. It's but they were doing an update and it was just not working, and I needed it working. And when I looked up what the maintenance thing is, it said the maintenance was going to go to 1. They normally are right on that. They don't usually like get everything back up and running until 1. And I think it's because they're doing like checks and double checks and things like that. The stream went great. The emotes delivered. Everything's fine. Everything's happy. And I say it took me 3 days to do it. It took 3 streams to do it. But I didn't work on it like I worked on the original. Which I probably should have streamed it. I don't know why. But you guys can see the whole process. Doing it, but on how I do it, and but it would have been as animated emotes are they're very rewarding. I'm gonna put that right on the table. I love having them. They are absolutely amazing to do. I'm like already looking at what my next challenge is going to be. Just the regular emotes they're fine. They're, you know, you get Twitch definitely offers, you know, more stationary emotes than animated emotes. But I have to admit, I use the animated emotes a hell of a lot more I'll give Stoat the credit for that. Stoat is Stoat. It is what it is. We're still in the process of making my own, and allow Stoat to be what it is. I don't think I'm going to go back to Discord. I'm not happy with Twitch. I've never been happy with Twitch. I'm not happy with Twitter, and it is what it is. And to put it very bluntly, I'm not all that enthusiastic about here on YouTube either. And it's because I don't know. Originally, I was calling it laziness. That they're just allowing AI to just run rampant. And maybe it is the way of the world. The saddest thing about it is that we're going to have this huge growing pain, and it's already happening. It's already happening, and I'm really kind of sad about it. That the creativity, that back work that people were doing is all going away. It's vanishing. It's disappearing from the landscape. And I think AI still looks awful. And when AI starts eating AI, when AI starts using what AI is creating, because that's all it's going to have, it's going to look even worse, and people are just going to basically accept it. I think that is where my age shows. I think that I'm definitely showing my age on that. That I don't like somebody else doing my stuff for me. Started, it's the thing about digital art that is kind of a double-edged sword. There's a lot of things that I can do digitally that I wasn't able to do with doing practical. And go to like cameras and stuff like that. Back in the day when I wanted to make movies and I was, writing scripts and doing this stuff, I spent $9,000 on a camera, and not a great camera. It was a great camera at the time, but comparatively now, that camera is pretty shitastic. now get a decent camera. Actually much better than the camera that I bought. Has it been 30 years? It's been 30 years. 30 years ago. Much better. The camera on my phone is night and day comparatively. And I don't have to do anything. I don't have to make adjustments. I don't have to account for lighting. I don't have to do any of that stuff that I used to have to do just to get a decent picture out of it. So, here I am talking about being lazy. There's that happening. And that's without an AI generated thing. That's without this. But if you look at what I was actually drawing and creating and sculpting and doing before to now what I'm doing and drawing and creating digitally, it's a whole different world. That period of time in the 2010s till the 2020s that everything seemed to be moving in a direction that was allowed me to be what I want to be. It's one of the main reasons that in 2021 I was able to be a streamer. I can't even imagine. It's hard to imagine, how I was able to do the streams before. Videos before, I should say. And when YouTube was in its infancy and becoming popular, yes, that was the time. That would have been the time to be a streamer. Because nobody else was doing that stuff like that. Kind of missed it, but I wouldn't have been able to do what I'm doing now. And making the changes updating and stuff like that I've done in the past 5 years, it's kind of strange to think about. And everybody else. I mean, I'm looking at who's popular right now and who's big right now. Not a single one of them has been around for less than, I think, 10 years. Yeah, I use, using Iron Mouse is used huge now as the example. Before she started actually making money and doing this full time, before that happened, she was doing the streaming for, he says, 7 years, and she was on a different platform before coming to Twitch. Lootcast, using that as an example. Lootcast itself, that was here on YouTube. That was how I discovered them. I didn't think that I was going to even move to Twitch. I'll give her the credit for the fact that I'm on Twitch. She is the reason why I created a Twitch account. Which makes me kind of laugh, because I was only following, for the longest time, I was only following one person on Twitch. And when I say for the longest time, what I mean is for 4 months, from the moment I created the account till I started gaining other followers and stuff like that, which I followed everybody who followed me. When it was just me and with no followers, I followed only one account, and it wasn't Iron Mouse. Because I had no intention, I had zero intentions of doing any live streams. I had zero intentions of doing any live streams on Twitch. And I've said this before, but repetition. My thank you to you. I have a thank you video, thank you parody video. Of your song, it's a parody of your song from Elton John, and one of the lyrics is maybe I should be a VTuber, and then again, no, because I really didn't have any intention of being a VTuber. I had no intention of getting back into doing art. I had no intention of any of that stuff. I was already burnt out. It's the reason why you guys get me broken. And it's kind of a sad thing that you already have me kind of broken. I am not the bright-eyed, bushy-tailed artist I was before. And I had, somebody actually talking to me about, like, how wonderful it is and how great it is and stuff like that, because that's how I do things. Is I don't do them because I'm looking to, like, earn a lot of money. I don't do any of it. I definitely don't do any of my art to turn any revenue over whatsoever. But I used to, when I started out, especially when I started out. When I started out, everything was new. I got to learn and be challenged all the time. And I quickly moved on. Like, as soon as something wasn't as challenging anymore, I quickly moved on to something new, to still be challenged. And I still do that today. I get inspired by something, or something somebody did, or a meme, or something along those lines, and my attention deficit disorder last as long as I'm still, like, learning and engaged in doing these things. And I know people, like, look at, like, but you've done almost 1,000 beads. You've done over 1,000 slimes. You've done over, all the done. And it's like going, yeah. And those were repetition, and those were, what they were supposed to be. And, and they kind of ran their course. You did 40 orcs. When I was starting out, like, I'm still amazed at the 26. I think I always counted as the 26 originals. My first ever art project was one single thing, and it took me I would say 14 hours. To draw it, get it done, plan it, let the VTuber know that that's what I'm doing. Within 2 hours, I already had most of it done. But there was a lot of work left to do. And before I was digitally drawing, I was hand drawing everything, scanning it in, starting over, hand drawing it again, scanning it in. I colored it. With markers, not paints. It was I used markers and highlighters. It did not work out as well as I wanted it to, and then I was using the filler, the paint filler on Adobe. I use Adobe. Still. I have Art Rage, which I've used a lot, and it's one of the reasons why when I say things like, "Oh, I should have streamed that," it would mean that I could only use Adobe. I could not use Art Rage, and Art Rage has a lot more different, flexibility as far as work goes. I keep trying to improve myself. That's one of the things I want people to know, and I hope they can see that. I've done the comparison of the original work, the original beam that you guys see, and hopefully love and adore, of where it started to where it is now, and it is night and day. It is very different. At least I see that. I hope everybody else does. The original beans, which I still have a few that I have not updated yet. I still have some that I haven't even updated yet. It is what it is. Just this morning I was going through and I was changing the beans, and I'm finally going to make it to changing it all out, because the truth is, we don't need. We don't need I've totally freaking lost my train of thought. I arrive at work and that's it. I'm done. I'm gonna keep plugging away. Um, this year definitely is what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be, setting a standard that is going to carry me through till the end of my streaming days, however long that's going to be. I definitely would like to get 10 years, and I'm pretty much on track for that. So that would be nice. It would be nice to have. Um, if I can get 20 years, that even better. And it's one of the main reasons with like burnout and things like that. And again, I I started this whole thing broken, so it's kind of like you get broken queue as opposed to ready to roll queue. But I'm learning. I'm learning as I go. I might still do it wrong, but I do it wrong in my own way. The one thing that somebody can never say is that I didn't do my best. I did my best all the way through, and maybe I held on too long. I know I hold on too long because I don't want things to go away and this. You know, there is a comfort zone that I like to have, because I think that when I have that comfort zone, it allows me to challenge myself and accept problems and solve them and this. I'm telling you, once I get the collab thing resolved, I'm off to the fucking races. I am going to try to collab with everything. Collab is gonna. You're gonna. It might not happen this year, but next year I definitely want it to be all about the collabs, and we'll see how we can make that fit fit that into my world. Cool Beans comments below. Doesn't have to be Cool Beans. It can be whatever you want. Um, yeah, and many years from now, I'm going to retire, and hey, I get to do this more. There might be 8-hour streams. Imagine that. Imagine like doing a 40-hour week streaming. Oh, that would be wonderful. Um, I hope wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope if you're a streamer that you're enjoying it and doing it, and it's fulfilling and it does everything it needs to do. I hope you're not trapped in any of those loops that a lot of streamers seem to be trapped in. And and trap is definitely the right word, because there are so many things that are just traps and pitfalls, and so many streamers fall into them and they don't even know. I don't. I worry that I'm falling into traps. I think it's one of the reasons why I had to get rid of Discord, because Discord is a trap. It tells me that I accept what they're giving me as opposed to what I need as a streamer. Twitter is the same thing. It's a trap. Twitch and YouTube, not so much. Not so much. Even though they provide the platform that allows me to stream, they're not so much a trap, but they have their issues and their problems, and there's definitely it. I have to accept them as they come around because I'm not using anything else. But the truth is if I find something better, I'm out, out the door. But I don't accept giving people free licenses to my work. Even if I'm not getting paid, even if I'm not making money on it, it doesn't matter. It's not free work. It's not free work for them to use as they see fit and to control it. No. No. And my personal information is valuable. And yes, I think they know that it's valuable. They don't they don't really put it as so valuable that it's gold, but to me, it's definitely worth more. It's definitely worth more than what they're valuing it as. And that's all platforms. Just because I don't have a monetary value on it doesn't mean that it's not valuable. You know, what is my private information worth? I mean, to me it's worth a lot. And I have to work really hard at keeping it that way. And everybody wants to take it. Everybody wants to use it. Um, you know, I my email. That's the reason why I don't use my email so often, because my email is so overladen with freaking just spam. Because my information has been given, and I couldn't even tell you where most of that shit comes from. I hope you're doing great. I hope you're doing awesome. Or wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope it is exactly what you want it to be. And I'm off for the next couple days, but we will come back and we will try again next week. All right, you guys take care of yourselves and be well. And I will see you on the flip side. All right, bye.